I actually like this movie. Ouija Origins of Evil is a prequel to Ouija, and in this film we follow a mother and her two daughters who run a seance business, who invite people into their home to perform these fake seances to hope to bring closure and comfort after their dead ones have passed. But they realize their business is running a bit stale, so they bring in a Ouija board to help spice things up. Unfortunately, they've conjured an ancient evil, and it's attached to themselves to the daughter, Doris. Now look, if you've been following my channel, you know I was not a fan of Ouija when it came out. But if you're new to the channel, here's a quick recap to fill you in. Yeah, I didn't like it. But I have to give credit where credit is due. Apparently Blumhouse didn't like it either. So when they said they were making a sequel, they said they wanted to fix a lot of the issues that were in the first film. So they brought on a very confident indie horror filmmaker in Mike Flanagan, who made films like Absentina, Oculus, and Hush. 3 films I absolutely love. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually liked Ouija Origins of Evil. I did. Let's go ahead and get to the big question that you want to know. Is Ouija Origins of Evil scary? I think it is. I think there are some good, solid scares in this film. I mean, there is a moment where this little girl, Doris, gives a monologue, and it is the most terrifying monologue I've heard in a really long time. It was a moment when I left the theater, I was like, man, that was a good scare right there. Aesthetically, this movie is fantastic. It feels and looks like it came straight out of the 60s, and it has a sort of 35mm print visual aesthetic that's going on that I loved, even to the point where they add a little cigarette burns at the top right hand corner to let the projection person know that it's time to change the reel. That little nice touch blew my freaking mind. It really worked. It added to the atmosphere because this movie is oozing in atmosphere, and I like the pacing of this film because it was very top notch. It took its time and established its characters and setting. This movie has really good characters. You really buy this mother and her 2 daughters. They all feel different, have different dynamics going on in their characters. And the movie is fun. I think this is a great movie to see in a crowded theater with a Halloween audience because I think it's going to get their participation going. It's going to get them invested into the story. The first film terribly used its Ouija board. It honestly felt completely unnecessary, but this film actually brings the Ouija board to life and does some really cool and inventive stuff with it, to the point where I was actually wanting more of it in a good, positive way when the movie was over. I even go as far to say that this is probably the best board game movie ever. Now, in terms of issues with the film, I wasn't a big fan of the final moment of the film. I felt like it was kind of cheap, and I think it could have ended like a few minutes earlier. Also, I don't think all the scares really hit hard for me. This wasn't a movie that when it was all said and done, lingered with me long after. It was a solid horror film for the moment, but when the moment was done, it didn't really linger with me. Ouija Origins of Evil is a total rags from riches tale and improves on the predecessor in nearly every aspect of this film, and Mike Flanagan deserves all the credit. This is a solid horror film that's sure to get a good few jolts out of you this Halloween season. As the score goes, I'm going to give Ouija Origins of Evil a 3.5 out of 5. So you guys, were you looking forward to Ouija Origins of Evil? Did you see this film? How much did you hate the first film? What did you think of this one? Let me know in the comment section below, and until next time, I'm the Slasher Movier, and you guys have just been slashed.